Keep watching. On today's video, I am showing you how to make your face look younger with makeup. Hey followers, welcome back to another tutorial. I'm Claire of Harry Jon Hair, Makeup and Training, bringing you videos every Monday where I work on a model and Wednesday where I do a DIY and work on myself. So if you're looking for more tips and techniques on hair and makeup, or you're interested as a career as an artist, then hit the subscribe button for more videos and I will help you along the way. So today's video is all about helping you look younger with makeup. These are tiny little tweaks, little natural ways to make you look better with makeup, make you feel more awake, make you look more youthful, 10 years younger. And it is super easy. So we're going to transform this into something else for you. Skin prep, I have been trying out TROPIC's skincare range. If you're anything like me and you're a bit drier, because as we do tend to get a little bit older, I'm 41 now, I'm 42 later on this year, then the collagen starts to work itself away and things start to go down south and everything starts to become a bit drier. So if you are anything like me, then you'll be wanting to do more on the nourishing side. Let me know in the comments, what is your skin type? So are you a combination? Are you oily? Are you dry? Are you dehydrated? I've been using the TROPIC facial wash that you take off with a cloth, which is absolutely gorgeous. Their skin toner, which is a spray to freshen up. So sometimes I will use the facial wash in the evening and I'll just use water and the facial spray for the toner in the morning. So I'm taking off all my makeup at night and then just freshening up my skin in them. I'm also using their greens serum, which I put on, and then I use their moisturiser over the top. They've all been really nice, and they also do a hydrating mask, so I'll pop the links to all those in the video description below. If you need any help with skincare, then drop me in the comments below, or if you're a bit more private, you can drop me a private DM over on Instagram. But what you're all actually here for is the makeup. So I have put on this morning, what have I put on this morning? A moisturiser with their tanning drops inside. So I always like a little bit of colour. So I've literally done my head and my chest, so you can see that my arms are slightly different colour to my face at the moment, but hey ho, my arms are pretty much covered all the time. So even if you have an oilier skin, rather than going for a completely matte makeup can sometimes be a little bit aging. So if you are oilier, or you have a lot of lines on your face, a lot of wrinkles and things like that, or you just don't want too much shine down the middle, I like to use a bit of a highlighter to bounce the light and give you a bit more radiance around your skin. So for this, I'm using the MAC Original Strobe Cream. So I'm just taking a pea size and putting this on the outsides of my face, and I'm literally only going around here. Now if you are extremely dry, sometimes if I'm having a really dry day, I will put an extra bit of serum just before I do my foundation. And I'm literally going to run that like a C shape around the tops of the high points of your face. So you can take this down. Okay, so we've done a light wash of radiance and your foundation over the top, and next we're going to move on to eyes. So this tip is to lift your eye shape. So if you're like me and you've got a hooded eye, or if your eyes have started to drop slightly, we're just going to add a little bit of definition. So I have this palette, which is from High Definition, and it is the Foxy Eye and Brow palette, and you can see that it's got these few shades in there. So this is a wax. You've got black that you can use for eyeliner, and you've got a few different shades here that you can use that are almost like contoury colours. So you can use these on your eyebrows, but you can also use it as an eye makeup. So we're just going to take this real nudie shade from the middle. I'm going to pop a little bit of that along the lash line. This brush is just a little one from an Anastasia palette, but I love it. It's in my little makeup bag that I use on myself. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of this underneath the lash line. And then when you get to the end of your lash line, you're still continuing that eyeshadow in exactly the same direction. So you're following the direction of your lash line and taking the shadow up and continuing it. And then I'm going to go in with the larger brush on the end, so you just want a nice little fluffy brush. I'm just going to pick up some of the same colour. I'm going to take this, so where you can feel your bone inside your brow or slightly higher, it will all depend on what your eye shape is like. we're just going to lift and blend this out. So if you have a contour palette at home, you can pretty much use your contour palette as well and use the same colours. And all you're going to do is just lift and give your eyes that little bit more definition. Okay, I've used the same palette that I've used for the eyeshadow, and I've gone ahead and done my eyebrows, whizzed a little bit of mascara, which makes a huge difference. I'm using the Maybelline Instant Eye Eraser. This is gorgeous, it's light reflecting, it's great if you've got any liner skin or anything like that underneath. And we are going to use, so if I'm using these on my kit, I don't use these sponges on the top, but when they're in your own makeup bag, it's only going on your face because they are a bit of a germ hoarder. And with germs at the moment, everyone's going a bit crazy. So we're just going to pop this underneath. Now this is pretty much the same colour as my foundation. It's got a nice light reflector in it. And we're putting it in all the places where we get shadow. Now for the under eye, I'm just going to pop a little bit of the lighter, which is ivory, just in the corner. You tend to find ladies that are a bit more of mature age don't like being too bright under here. So you can take this lighter and go a little bit more Instagrammy with it if you like. I'm just using a small brush and just patting this out and then blending it out underneath. And then when we take this up the side, we're following, so we're kind of bringing the brush underneath the shadow that we've taken upwards, and this will naturally lift your eye. So you can take this a little bit lighter and do it a bit more dramatic if you like, but I find that that is enough. And then I'm just going to blend out these little bits we've done in the middle. So this will just brighten and any shadowy areas. A tiny bit more of this lighter one around the sides. A little bit either side of the nose as well. So if anybody remembers Radiant Touch, this is kind of where you would have used that. So you're just brightening any shadowy areas. I like the MAC Mineralize powders. You can also get the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Both have a little bit of radiance in them, so they don't look too flat, but they don't look shiny. And these are the two that I like to use. So this is light and dark gold, and I use these on quite a lot of clients. These have been used to death, but they've been in my kit. So I use the lighter one underneath my eye. I don't go too heavy with this because I don't like being too powdery because I'm quite dry. I just like to set this so it's not really moving, and it just gives that extra bit of brightening underneath. And then going in with my angle contour brush. Again, these are all out of my kit, so they have got my makeup on because I've used them this week already. And I'm taking this just over the apples to start giving myself a little bit. So what we want to do is with losing, this needs lifting. You can see this bit here now. So I've started getting the lines there, and then I've got this bit that hangs down here. And everyone thinks you're crazy when you can see it yourself, but then they're like, so you want your face to feel a little bit more nipped. So that using this brightener underneath will help lift your eyes. And then we're going to use some contour to start sculpting the face. I'm going to start using some contour powders. If you've got yourself some contour powders, I'm going in with the lighter of the mushroom colours, and we're just going to use the side of the brush. I'm sculpting underneath the face, and then I'm just going to push. So I'm going into the area and pushing up, and we're just going to gradually take that a little bit darker and push up. We're taking that in the sides of the face. Same on the other side. The same lighter colour we're going to go under the jaw, so it needs to be underneath, unless you've got a very wide jaw and you want to make it a bit smaller. But in terms of just creating and giving your jawline a bit more definition and hiding the chins, we're going to take this under the chin and blend it back. You don't want to go too dark with this because you only want to create a shadow. You do not want a line of makeup. Then I always go underneath my jaw here. So then that will lift it. If you're getting any gels or anything, that will lift. I sculpt it around my jaw at the back, so it's all underneath the chin and we're just creating that shadow. Blend it back if you're unsure and you want to make sure they've definitely got no lines there, and that just creates a little bit more of a shadow. If you have no pout and your lips have lost their shape a little bit, you can put a tiny bit of powder underneath here as well if you like wearing a lipstick through the day, and it'll just give your pout a little bit more pout back. So if your eyes have dropped and are starting to come down, you can, as well as doing this lighter shade underneath, you can also lift your eyes. So going back to the palette that we've used for brows and the contour in the eyes, I'm just going to take the black shade, and at the very corners of my eye I'm just going to lift the shape. So just where the eye comes out here, instead of taking it down and following the eye, I'm taking it out. I'm just going to bring, just so it lifts the eye ever so slightly. And then you can start to see that the eye starts to come up a little bit more. So you can have lashes, you can have semi-permanent lashes as well that can help change the shape of your eye if it's a little bit, if it does slant down slightly. We have done radiance on our base. We've done some concealing to lift the eye and start to sculpt. We've done some sculpting with contour powders, and we've done a little bit of shading to lift the eye shape up. So the only other thing is to bounce the light and make the cheeks look like they're much fuller. So for that we are using, this is Soft and Gentle from MAC, which is a really delicate, it's not too pink, it's not too warm, and it's quite nice on fairer skins as well. But if you have lines around your eyes, you want to make sure the powder's not there, and go slightly lower and just go at the top of your cheekbones, where the top of your cheekbone is. I'm using the point of my angle brush and I'm just going to drape a little bit. Now if you have very dry skin like myself, I like to bring this over the apples and get a little bit of radiance down there too. And we're just going to bounce this on top, and it's really gentle, but you can see that with the beauty light it looks a lot bolder. So just as the light catches it when you're walking, just makes you look like you have a little bit more of a youthful glow. This is the liquid blush, which is for the airbrush. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this, and you need the tiniest amount. You can get one really similar from SANDLER as well, which I know you can buy to use at home. I think airbase are a bit more difficult to purchase on their own unless you've done an airbrush course. Just going to take a little stipple brush. These brushes are great because where the white bristles are, they're like half the amount of what's in the black, so they pick up less product, but then the black helps support the brush so you can disperse it and blend it out nicely. So I'm just dipping the brush, tapping on the edges and then fanning it out to make sure I've not overloaded the brush, because we don't want too big pink cheeks, but we just want a nice soft glow. So with this being a liquid, you kind of get that luminosity because it's a liquid. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on the apples of my cheeks, and all we're doing is making the cheeks look fuller and pull forward. And then you can do this with a bronzer as well if you like. Or you can do a bronzer as well as the pink and get a really nice sun-kissed glow. That is my few tips for making yourself look younger with makeup. If you would like to join a community of people who are looking for makeup tips, you can come and find the link below to our Facebook group. But if you have any other makeup styles you would like to see to look more youthful, then please let me know in the comments and I will get creating it for you guys at home. Remember to subscribe. Remember, there is a video coming every Monday and every Wednesday. Ooh, lip. This is from Glossybox, and this was in it from Floss, my favourite lip gloss. Guys, hope you've liked it, and I will see you on the next one.